Making the invisible visible, Black women 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
My name is Sonja Dumas, and I guess the best way to describe myself is as an instigator. And I say that because I do it through a lot of the channels of arts and culture that I have access to and I try to develop. But I always try to make people think differently about something and to investigate and to interrogate something differently through what I present as my art and from making their own art as a result of having had an intervention with me. A kind of authenticity is really important to me because there are a lot of ways in which you can present your art, your life, yourself in ways that are very manicured and very curated in a sense. But who is the real you? And I think that journey is something I always kind of pursue. It's not a one and done. It's every day that you pursue it. You get closer to what you really are. And you have to be authentic about that pursuit as well. You have to be honest with yourself. Yourself is the only self you need to really be worried about, right? Some of those people are Bessie Schoenberg, Astor Johnson from Trinidad and Tobago, amazing choreographer of the 70s and 80s. My ballet teacher, Patricia Rowe, who passed away some years ago. My dear friend, Reggie Wilson, he's a choreographer from the United States. He's quite an amazing, he calls himself a post-African choreographer. There are a number of other people whose input or whose work have really shaped how I look at the world. With Bessie, I remember doing a workshop with her many, many moons ago, and she wanted us again to get to the essence of what we were trying to do. What is the essence of what you're trying to say? What is the story? With Astor, he had a phenomenal way of melding the African Caribbean aesthetic with a kind of contemporary aesthetic, but not losing the personality of his space, which was Trinidad and Tobago. With Reggie, Reggie also has this amazing way of storytelling through his craft. I guess storytelling is something I really enjoy. I mean, I've written many stories for children. I think storytelling is the way to teach a lot of the time. Yeah. And with Patricia Rowe, she was just amazing in terms of her understanding of performance and craft. In terms of my film, I think Horace Ove is somebody whom I really, have an enormous amount of respect for. He does pressure, which is so very sort of real and searing in terms of the Caribbean experience in the UK. And then he does something like Playing Away, which is hilarious. The other thing I'd like people to know about me is that how much of my work is influenced by the carnivalesque of the Caribbean. My father definitely outed me as a little baby who used to dance, which I did not know I did, because I don't remember, I don't have that recollection. But he said in the crib, he used to put on calypso and I used to start to dance and shake my little tush. And I was like, oh, so I had it from then. I didn't even know it was there. And I didn't know. And as I've grown into an artist and I keep growing as an artist, I think that informs me greatly. Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is so multidimensional, even though there are lots of contested areas now in terms of people thinking it's too much of a bikini and beads kind of affair, and other sort of anxieties, of course, come up. But Carnival has always been a site of anxiety for different populations, so it's nothing new. But it's also been a site of great depth of understanding, not only of our colonial past, but our pre-colonial past and the traditions that have come from Africa, our colonial past where traditions of India have stepped into the whole mix, traditions of Europe that have been sort of co-opted by the enslaved people and made their own, where everybody can now participate. In terms of joy, things like Carnival make me really happy. But also the little things, the everyday things. So you're in a line at a bank and you strike up a conversation and it becomes very funny. Those human connections sometimes just kind of reset you in a sense.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.